mrecktv. Peace, world's mrec for mrecktv. We got an interesting clip right here. Wack 100 responding to Gene Deal, reacting to Kanye West calling Diddy the feds. Hit that like button, hit the bell, hit that subscribe, leave that comment, and let's vibe.
I'm trying to see what the hell is going on with this puffy shit.
What's
Oh,
happening?
yo, the
Oh,
crazy Gene, yeah, he been screaming shit for like 20 years, man.
No, it definitely was. Definitely had been talking that 20
He
something years.
been he been talking this 20 something
And
years.
keeping it solid. Same statements. Never switch it up.
But Puffy
So
just
what changed? People just
Puffy
now paying
ignores it.
attention to it?
I mean, I know. I mean, it ain't like Gene wasn't visible because Gene used to be K Slade security. He related to K Slade, so I know Gene personally. Um, but Puffy ain't never reacted to it or responded. Now, one thing I can say is I don't know how real his information is because unlike me, I would go in the meeting. Gene was security. He was always outside the meeting. He's outside the door. He don't come in. Right? So I don't know a lot of he's saying. I'm asking myself, is it first, second, or third hand information? Because Puffy's not gonna be having a verbal conversation about this type of shit to the security guard. He ain't really talking to them unless it's time. Let's go. That's it. Like so, he's saying some crazy. Did you hear that shit, Daddy?
Yeah, actually, Bang is about to play it so we can kind of get some context to what he's saying.
When I hear shit like that, Kirk on this app too. I want to get him in here. When I hear shit like that, right? First of all, uh, Jimmy Iovine ain't the feds, right? He'll be saying shit. Don't nobody want to break down what he's saying. They just want to go with it. So if he went and told somebody internally in the music industry that yo, these dudes is up to this or trying to do this, y'all may want to get in the way of it, whatever. That's just him being Uncle Tom. Because he went back, right, and told the other folks what the black folks is plotting and planning, attempting to do. But them ain't the feds and creating a distribution company is not against the law. So what you know, we can't classify that as you telling, right? And then he goes on to say that what did he say? Some Kirk Burrows and them. What did they give him? On who? Now, I know Gene is mad because Puffy wouldn't do something for one of his homeboys when he died and went to jail. He said Puffy left him for dead or whatever. I do know that, but I don't know what did he say. The other part was. What did he say again?
As far as who he was telling on,
Yeah. Who did he? Yeah,
he said something about Jay Prince.
yeah.
I
That's
think
a
he said
distribution
Irv.
deal. That ain't the feds. That's Jimmy Iovine ain't the feds. Universal ain't the feds, and creating a distribution company is not against the law. So that's not, you know. But what's the other uh, situation he gave?
He named the Suge Knight situation,
What
and I think he mentioned Irv Gotti too.
Suge
That's a
Knight?
lot of big names he was throwing out there for that allegation, though.
yeah,
But
big
what's Suge
time.
Knight? What's Suge Knight's situation?
Yeah, that's weird. He tried to like correlate what he
Yeah, that's
told
some Jedi
Jimmy.
mind trick. Yeah,
Yeah, like
that
as
shit don't
that's
work for me.
the
That
see,
shit
that's a
don't
head
work
of
for me.
endoscope.
Yeah,
Like that, you know how that
yeah, that's
goes.
not the
Like
yeah. That
All right,
that's
I
him
just
being
went
an
back
Uncle
to
Tom.
it.
That's I mean that's just like you
right.
telling me Whack open it. Then I go tell the white people, yo, Ebony about to try to make a move. Y'all may want to. Okay, yeah, that's that, but that ain't the feds.
It's a heads up. That
Yeah,
ain't like snitching or like nothing to do with the Fed. So for him to try to correlate both of those together, yeah, that's the Jedi mind trick right
yeah.
there.
Let me. Yeah, go ahead. Let me. That's
Scandalous. Yeah, he was saying that he was pretty much like the ears, and when those three guys were trying to get the distribution company, he went back and was telling
and
about
now
it.
stop right there, Danny. A distribution company of music, not of drugs, not of any.
The
But
way he make it
yeah,
sound like it's
That's
some
why I'm
other
waking
shit.
up. Like, I look. I ain't like I'm a representative of any of them other people, but I'm just keeping it real. Like I always do this. Beehive the other day, I was scrutinizing shit out of what we was reading because I just want us to be on point with what we saying and know what we saying, so we can eliminate that because him telling Jimmy Iovine about them trying to create a distribution company of music that is not an illegal act. That's okay. Call him a sellout, Uncle Tom, because you went back and told the white people what the black people was trying to do. Which in all actuality, knowing them black people, they was gonna end up talking to Universal anyway. But it's another conversation. Again, Gene is not in the music industry. He is a security guard. He don't understand the inner workings of that type of business anyway. So what was the other shit, Danny?
All right. Oh, he said they took paperwork up to the feds. Kirk Burrow. He said
Okay,
Kirk
so
didn't
we
know
need
what
to
he was
get.
doing.
Hold on, let me hit Hocus. I met him on Hocus floor, and you ain't gonna get me to believe that Kurt didn't know he was taking paperwork up to a federal building. Hold on, let's get. Hold on, let me get. Watch this, right? When you say like this, right? So this is what he did. Yeah, yeah, I heard can Tink can Rue, know what I'm saying? Just went to the police station, you know what I mean? And they took paperwork up to the police station, you know, on Naughty. Well, what paperwork leading to what about what? And if Kirk didn't tell you that, we know Puff didn't tell you that. And whatever paperwork was taken up there, Kirk would surely know what what that paperwork was about, right? Now you got a cross, right? Is Kurt supporting that? That's what we got to figure out. And Kurt is on the app. I talked to that nigga Hogan. I might have his name. Yo, I got his phone number. Look at there. Hold on.
Look at God.
Well, I got that number. Kirk Burrows. There you go. Let's see if we can get Kirk up in here. See what's going on. Because if Kirk can't say, yeah, me and Puff went and dropped some paperwork off with the feds about Death Row, which is Gene saying he was with them when they went and took the paperwork up to the feds?
But that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think someone gonna admit to taking the feds'
Yeah, no,
paperwork?
I think so, man. That's a little.
That's a tricky one. And I think what he was doing was he threw out so many big names to where you like, the shit sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like to grab the attention. Like I don't know how true it is, but
It's
I think
all
the
I'm
way he
saying.
combined it.
It's all I'm saying, right? Things that you hear when a security guard is talking. Yeah, that nigga got a whole nother household. Yeah. Yeah, he dealt with her. Yup, he got some kids people don't know about, right? See, all that kind of shit, they know about that kind of shit. When you get to talking about the internal workings of business and shit, they don't talk about that shit with you. If you just a security is one thing. If you the homeboy security and you know you just part of the business and you just happen to play a security position when the time comes, but nigga, everybody. nigga.
Yeah, they ain't telling them. They're not privy to that type of information.
Yeah, they not.
Even the homeboys, I mean, you might know something here and
Yeah,
there, but you not like,
he ain't going. Yeah,
business is business.
it's like when I hear that kind of shit, and
And
then
then
when
they
this fuck.
normally are outside away from them. They're not
That's what I'm
even
saying.
there
They
with the
outside
whole
the
little.
door.
You already know how that
They,
goes.
because the
So they
people you
can make
meet.
assumptions. He's assuming. You can assume anything, but to know real information, nah.
So does it sound like, it sounds like his credibility on the topic is shot? Is bullshit? We call him bullshit?
Well,
Shit.
it's a 50-50. To me, it's 50-50.
I'm just saying that's just not somebody you're gonna just hear it and just run with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just the position he played. I would just need to further investigate or hear from the
Yeah,
actual guy and people. I'm not gonna just take his
cause
word.
he
He was around,
right.
but
And then if you trying to run a play on some shit like that, you would 9 times would believe someone that appears to be close to the situation. So if they
exactly.
gonna
So
eat
he's
that up
gonna
right away as
use
soon
it.
as you say it, okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
what
it
I would
seemed
That's
do.
like
why
he
I
got
said
a
I think
problem
he
with
just threw
Puffy
out
coming
some
in.
heavy names so that way everybody, take the shock factor of
Yeah,
it and hop on it versus actually seeing if it's true or
Like
not.
that
Irv,
shit should have been
Suge,
came out.
Jimmy, like yeah, those are some names where people, they'll be in shock, so they'll take it at shock value type stuff. But nah, when you really think about it, nah.
Shit, I wouldn't rule it out though if it was me. Shit, if I didn't know,
Yep,
shit,
can't
I'll
rule
just
it
keep my
out.
ears open till I find out what's really popping. Shit.
I mean, yeah, but
But you can't
I'm just
also be
saying,
so
taking
blind
his
that you
word.
just believe it either. So yeah, 50-50.
Hell
Right.
no, you don't supposed to believe nothing you
So we
hear.
supposed to get the dude up in here that supposedly went to the Fed, took this info that he didn't know about to the
I believe
feds.
so. I think Wack was trying to get some.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
think it's a lot more federal informers than we be knowing, but I mean, I can't say that's true about it, but it's most definitely something that make you kind of look
But
at
I'm
it.
just saying, like, he could have. I mean, he threw out the first thing he threw out was can't discount it or discredit it fully, but it sounds like bullshit. But we'll
It
see.
do sound like bullshit because what took you so long to even say this shit? You should have been popped this out.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, he was asked a
No, he
question.
been no, he bro. This nigga been attacking Puff for at
Over
least
22 years.
15, 20 years, and I know
God
he been.
damn.
But
Mhm.
here go the thing: when I asked him, "Yo, what's your issue with Puff?" Right? It didn't start until after Puff let him go. Now let's talk about why Puff let him go. Gene's Gene was the detail the night Biggie got killed. What you think gonna happen, bro?
I knew it had to be something like that.
No,
Now that I know he was let go.
Gene was the detail, the security detail on Big the night Biggie got killed.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
Right? So
Gets let go.
20
so
years
after
ago.
that, yeah, after that, the nigga Gene started running his shit. Like he like you know what I'm saying? But the crazy part is, see, Kurt Burrows done been to the federal penitentiary. He's done time. So to say that Kurt participated in taking some paperwork up to the feds on death row, I don't think Kurt gonna support that. I could be wrong.
And then he tried to throw it in there. He didn't know. Like who
Well,
doesn't?
nigga, how in the fuck you don't know?
Trying to
Like
save
I'm
face.
right.
Yeah, Wack.
So
I
just in
went
case
with
he
Wack
go
to
against
deposit
that,
the
he could
check.
Try to
say
make.
you didn't know.
I went with Wack to go deposit the check in the bank, but he didn't know. He didn't know he was depositing the check in the
But
bank.
that
That's
looks even
bullshit.
slimy on Puffy. You know what I mean? To make him look even slimier. Like he set this
Now,
dude up to go down and
what
do
I
some
do
foul
know
shit
is
like that.
this: Kurt has said and insinuated that In his paperwork, there's a confidential informant against him, and he believes it's Puff. Kurt has said that. Now, why he probably believes it's Puff, knowing Kurt, is like, how can I put it? If I know me and Beast, we rode out to Death Valley at 2 a.m. one night and went out there and met up with some folks, and it went bad. It was a shooting. We got away, they got away, right? You know, we wasn't hit, and we believed to hit one of them. Me and Beast made it back to the house. And years later, and I go to the feds, and I'm reading the paperwork in my cell, and it starts to talk about a rendezvous in Death Valley. I'm gonna say to myself, yeah, the only mother with me was Beast. But then I also got to factor in, well, what about the other two motherfuckers we
Two
got into
others.
it with? It's just
But
real shit,
then, but
right?
the details,
Hey,
did
that's
did
a
they go
fact
into
right
Now
there.
details?
hold on, wait. Then you
Hey,
say,
No,
wait.
that's a fact.
Then you say, well, why would Kurt even want to consider Puff? Well, Kurt, from Kurt's story, he's the one that created Bad Boy, and Puffy ran off with his idea. So there you got that friction.
it gets deeper.
Yeah, there you got that friction. Kurt says, which I don't know, he's the one. He created Bad Boy. All this. Puff just was the nigga that got in there on the interviews, I'm assuming the paperwork wasn't right on Kurt's side. And when Bad Boy took off, you know, he figured this, and maybe Puff didn't do what he wanted him to do. If that's the case, they know that. So that's the friction between them two. So I can see Kurt reading his paperwork. Damn, did nobody know about this but this person? But it's always other people. You know what I mean? But ain't no names there, right? Um, where is there any friction, right, between these two? Yeah, right here, Kurt feel like Puff stole Bad Boy from him. We got that. So with Gino is like the fact he tried to create that narrative around the Jay Prince, Irv Gotti, and Suge, and Puff wouldn't told Jimmy that Jimmy Iovine is not the feds. Um, a distribution company for music is not a criminal offense. So we gotta delete all of that. That's the mumbo jumbo talk set you up for the Jedi mind tricks, filling in the blanks that don't need to be filled with wrong information. We talking about how to make pancakes, nigga. You just put some shit in there on how to do a tune up. Fuck we talking about right now. Again, Gene was security. His name was Gene Dill. He was security. And I know when you got higher security like that, they not in that room like that. They in that lobby or they might be outside the office door, but they not in there like that. So I don't
Nah,
know.
they securing the premises, making sure they can get to the motherfuckers before they can get to you. They not just parlaying and kicking it up in there with you and shit.
Somebody been
Very
having
few times,
that
might be that.
death over his head. Probably damn near blamed himself and others blamed him for not being on his job. So yeah, he definitely. I would see why he goes so hard at Puff because you know, he feel like it's all on him still to this day. Till this day.
I mean, there was more security detail, right? Or
I
He
would
was just
hope it
a
wasn't just him.
right.
hey
I'm
Wack.
like, it ain't all on him, but I
What kind of
feel
name?
Nah, it
it.
What
ain't
kind of
all
hit does
on
your name
him.
take after you lose a customer like that? That's being a
I
security
think he's
firm.
the
What?
head
How?
of
How,
it.
how do you? Are you still able to do the same job you do in the field and stuff like that?
Nah, that's another thing that fucked up when he started doing that. You knew. Now you talking about Puff 20 something years ago when he started. Nigga, you was blackballed immediately.
Yep.
Like I said, I just know him for working with K Slade. On that level, they was family or whatever. And Gene, just so y'all don't get it mistaken, Gene is definitely from New York. He definitely grew up in those streets of New York, but Gene was an active probation officer. So don't go to looking at Gene like he was some motherfucking D-boy running around. He had a little badge and a motherfucking legal gun. So,
Yeah, so basically he was a hired gun. And
but even with that, you can only go so far because when you're doing private detail like that, you can't exploit that probation badge, bro.
oh, that's very true.
You can't exploit that like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even know if it was legal for him to have that firearm on him when he was performing those duties as a probation. You know what I'm saying? Because they give you that gun, your probation officer. You got to go visit the people, your case log and all that shit. Okay, cool. We know you might be dealing with some crazy money. Cool, but I don't know if that transfers over to you can utilize the authorities of this badge and gun to walk around with a rapper or CEO from a music company.
He probably had personal guns and shit like that.
Yeah, but you talking about New York, nigga.
Oh yeah, you right. Ooh.
Yeah, them gun laws
Yeah,
ain't
you
vicious
right
out there.
about that.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
now a police officer, yes, see, a probation officer is what you call what the fuck they call him? Peace officer. He's a peace officer. The police officer, that motherfucker, he got the right to whenever, however, whatever. But even with that, there's some restrictions, because that's why Reggie Wright had to resign.
Hey, that's a fact right there.
He had to resign for being Compton PD.
That's a good angle to look that you
Yeah,
turn
you
right.
can't just, you know what I'm saying? You can't just, I'm gonna go over here and be security for these people up under the guidelines of jurisdiction of this gun that's tied to this badge.
No, that don't work like that.
Don't work like that. So
No.
yep. I don't
Maybe
know,
we need to
man.
get Gene on the 100 shows. Big peep, what he talking about?
Well, y'all stress that nigga Gene out. That nigga go off on the whole floor. Hey man, you heard what the fuck I said, nigga?
Nah, facts though. He definitely snap like that.
Any of y'all know him, y'all know I'm telling the truth. I
Nah,
know that.
facts though. Nah, you heard the fuck I said, man.
You know what the fuck I said,
Hey,
man.
Wack, these niggas the fuck on my face,
Yeah,
man.
you
I'm
hard
out
of
of here.
hearing, nigga. Nigga, if you was in front of me right now, nigga. What?
Nigga, I'm 6'6", nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
280 pounds, nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
With a mean right hook. That's how he be talking.
Yeah, that's how he talk. Gene crazy the
Then we would have told him
motherfucker.
you should have used that to protect
I
your
know the
house.
nigga though. Like, let me tell you how I know it. Me and Gene had been at Sue's Rendezvous when Cardi was still stripping.
Damn.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we throwing straight stud magazine parties. Like I know the nigga. I know the nigga well.
Yo, Wack, I just came in here. So you saying everything Gene's saying is factual?
Nah, hell no. I think Gene capping.
Yo, I be
It
saying the
don't make
same shit when I
sense.
be watching this nigga video. I'm like, hell no, nigga.
He
Yeah,
trying to
like
draw.
I,
It took him too long to say that
yeah.
shit.
What's the nothing's the feds about Jimmy Iovine and a distribution deal, a distribution company. It's nothing about that. It's feds. Like what we
And he
talking
didn't
about?
give no details on what he was saying. Like a nigga who really had the drop would have juiced that bitch up,
Let
would
me
have
tell you
gave you
what I
something to
do know,
work with.
Daddy. That nigga's been mad at Puff for 2
2
decades and
decades is
something.
Nah, facts.
crazy. We gonna be
No,
Nah,
forever.
dead
that's what
ass.
we
It's been a
do
long
know.
ass time.
That's what we do know. That's what
Do you,
we
do you
do.
think it's because
We
he trying to drive content to his
no,
YouTube?
that's facts. No, that nigga. He look. I forget the dude name. It's either somebody that died or caught a case, and Gene felt Puff should have either paid for something, and Puff didn't do it. Puff has never done nothing directly to Gene. Gene is mad at Puff about what he didn't do for somebody else that was close to Gene.
That bodyguard that died, was he on Biggie's side or Puff's side?
Um,
Ain't
Puff
they the same
side.
side?
No, you talking about
Wolf.
Wolf. Yeah, that was Puff's man.
What was he mad about? Was it about Wolf? That wasn't about him,
Nah,
right?
it wasn't Wolf. I don't think. Nah, it wasn't. He gonna take care of Wolf. Nah, it wasn't Wolf. It wasn't Wolf. It was somebody else. Somebody I forget the name, but like he ain't never did nothing to Gene. Gene mad about what he did or didn't do for another nigga that Gene was close to.
I'm trying to put my fingers.
Oh,
I
he
definitely
mad
remember
about
his.
that Black Rob shit too.
Black Rob. We met about
He
Black
felt
Rob.
like he should have paid him, paid for all that shit. He had a video about it
Pay,
on YouTube.
pay for what? His funeral?
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Once again, Gene, the security guard, inserting himself in some shit that ain't got nothing to do with him. Nigga, Black Rob died how many years ago? Would have been 3 years?
Yeah, it's been a minute now.
No, it ain't been. Would have been three
Like 3 or
years,
4.
three,
It's
four
about
years.
3 years.
Okay, so let's do the math, right? Nigga, by the time Rob died, Gene, you 20 years in on talking crazy about the nigga. So why should your opinion matter? When Black Rob died, you have been talking crazy and slandering Puff for 20 years.
mrecktv.